Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Shawn Mackin, and I hope that this content will be able to serve you, help you. If you like it, subscribe it. And it's interesting, even though you subscribe, only the bell will actually notify you that I made more videos. And if you like the content, hit that bell. Alrighty, anyway, I want to get into this. We are going to be talking about the differences between mindful eating and the average dieting industry, or the average diet, I should say, because I feel like when I say diet industry or weight loss industry, it's not like it's all puddled into one bank account. There's a whole bunch of different avenues. So I guess I'd say based off your average diet, and I'm talking anything between keto and the meal plans from a regular personal fitness trainer to even things like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem as well, which are mega huge industries. So anyway, let's get into this. So when we talk about the regular diet industry, what is the fact that remains is 95% of all diets fail. And I want to talk about why that is and what that really is saying, because I think it's so easy to be doing this plan, but think that it's you who failed. But the reality is you didn't fail. And this is why. 95% of people on a diet fail. That's why you didn't fail. Because everybody is failing. So if everybody is failing on a statistical analysis, it would turn out that it's not the people, but it's the actual diet itself. And it's interesting that we can go on thinking that we should, if we want to lose weight, to rely on these kinds of people who have these kinds of plans out for you, when you know it's not going to make it last in the long run. Another thing that is huge in the diet world is they will put you on their plan. They'll tell you the foods that you're supposed to eat, or even make the foods for you. And that is not sustainable for a normal life, right? And when you imagine yourself losing weight on something like Jenny Craig, and I know this because I've done it, do you really want to be on Jenny Craig for the rest of your life? No. And they know that. They know you don't want to be on their diet for the rest of your life. So what they'll always say, they're like, who wants to be eating microwavable food till the day you die, right? Nobody. But the reason why they say they have two phases, they have the diet phase and then they have the maintenance phase. And there's a problem between that whole scenario here. Because the reality is nobody makes it through the diet phase to get into the maintenance phase. And people are losing their minds, going crazy, continually, day after day, meal after meal, eating microwavable, individual portioned foods out that you don't even like. I remember being on Jenny Craig with my husband, and he's like, oh, popcorn again? Popcorn doesn't make me feel good. It hurts, it makes my stomach uncomfortable, and this is my snack for the day. And then they say, oh, you're only allowed like 3 meal changes a week. Okay, so he only can change out of the entire list of foods that he gets a week, he only can change out 3 of them. And so it was always popcorn, and then it was always something, I can't remember the other ones, but there was a lot. Like a lot of the breakfast foods, he didn't get down with them. He didn't like the French toast, he didn't like a lot of the foods. But he was only allowed to switch out 3. And it's just I remember going through that with my husband and seeing how miserable he was the entire time. Did he lose 20 pounds? Yeah, and like really fast he lost 20 pounds. I was like, how can you lose 20 pounds so quickly? This is not fair. But anyway, he did. But the second we got off of it, that weight came right back on. He's like, finally I can eat food again. He's like, it felt like I was holding my breath the entire time for months on end. And I think it's just interesting because I know that not only he feels that way. I know a lot of people feel that way. And another thing about these diets, these plans that we get, I remember even one time being pregnant with my son, and I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy. So I found like some sort of like pregnancy focused woman who was a nutritionist apparently, and she had a fitness regimen, she had a diet regimen, and she like gave out a meal plan. But here's the deal, every single meal was different, and she didn't like, it wasn't like she made microwavable food for you. Like, you had to make it yourself. And so here I am making all this food. It was so overwhelming because I would make like 20 meals a week. Like, I felt like so many meals. Every lunch was different every day. Every breakfast was different every day. Every dinner was different every day. Every snack was different every day. And who wants to live their life like that? I know I don't. So I remember just really struggling, thinking that this is what it means to lose weight or to be healthy, is you have to have a new food group every single day, every single meal, and it has to be this elaborate, beautiful, fish wrap or tuna wrap or like breakfast scramble. And it was just really overwhelming. And I was like, all I want is just coffee and toast, man. That's all I want. And I can't have that. I have to have something else. That's the diet industry. Right? And I know that I'm sure some of you have gone through that, or even Weight Watchers. They drill in your mind that you need to eat all these different times a day, and you need to eat these kinds of foods, and you need to avoid these ones because these ones are going to make you hungrier. Like, they know every single human body, and they think that that's what every human body is going to react to with their food. But then not just that, they also really push their bars and their shakes and their smoothies and their all this different stuff. And because that's where they really make their money at the end of the day. And I just have a problem with that, because do you want to be eating Weight Watchers crap every single day for the rest of your life? Neither do I. Neither do I. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. That's the diet industry, right? Then there's the keto world. And then there's all these people who are extremely fit and talking about cutting the carbs so that it really burns fat quickly, and they're going to get you to your goal weight lickety-split. Okay, that's great that you can get me to my goal weight quick, but is that how I'm going to keep it off for good? They don't talk about you keeping that weight loss, right? The weight loss doesn't stick. It's always going to go out the window. Like, eventually, you cannot live on steak and eggs for the rest of your life. As much as you think in the beginning that you can, at the end of the day, Jesus said he was the bread of life, not the steak of life. And there is power when he says that he is the bread of life, because bread is a nutrient we do need. And if you have celiac disease, obviously it's a little bit different. But for a majority of human beings, we need some sort of carbs. And then I hear people talking about sugar now being an enemy. I'm like, so are you telling me you don't eat fruit? Like, people aren't even eating fruit, and fruit is a natural substance with a lot of natural fibers and a lot of vitamins that are essential for functioning normally. And so I just think it's funny how you can pick and choose your diet, right? Weight Watchers loves fruit. Keto diet, no, you have to limit it to pretty much just green apples. And it's just, is this the way that we want to live? And I think we look into these diets and we think that, oh, well, once I'm at my goal weight, the problem will be gone and I can go back to normal. No, the problem is you're normal. Your normal is the problem. And that's where I want to talk about mindful eating now. Mindful eating is letting go of the pressures of the diet world. Okay, when it comes to, first of all, your food plan are the foods that serve you. That means you can eat a cookie if it serves you. If a cookie makes you want to throw up, don't eat a cookie, right? If you are more interested in salty snacks than you are in sweet snacks, when it comes time to indulge in that snack and enjoy that snack for what it is, you're going to pick the salty snack because you don't like chocolate. Or the vice versa. You don't want popcorn like my husband, but you would love to have a slice of cheesecake. And I just think it's funny that we are so glued to the diet, and we think that that's the only way to lose weight because we saw a little bit of weight loss from them in a moment's notice. But the truth is, I really think people are waking up to this nonsense. They're waking up to the nonsense of the diet industry. It's total baloney that they are giving you these meal plans when your body knows what it needs. Your body knows what foods make you feel good. So even in my coaching, our coaching is about me helping you find a food list together. And I'll ask you questions within that food list. You don't even need me as a paid coach. I'm telling you, this is what I do. I'm giving you my strategies here, okay? And it's about eating those foods when your body wants and needs them. And when your body wants them is not when you're hungry, or not when you're not hungry. You know, we only want food when we're hungry. Food tastes better when we're hungry. And it's stopping when we're content. It's stopping when our body feels like it doesn't need food anymore. It's that simple. That connection comes together when we decide to start learning about ourselves, when we want to be aware of our life. And I just don't understand how people think we need to go against our body because it's our body who brought us here. No, it's unawareness that brought us here. It's the lack of knowledge and the lack of training. Like in my side gig, this is my side gig. So my side gig is making a education resource for elementary school, middle school, and high school, and teaching the steps of mindful eating, because mindful eating is way better than the food pyramid. The food pyramid tells you what foods you need to eat. Mindful eating says let your body tell you what you need to eat. And I can guarantee you no one is ever going to say that they feel great from eating an entire bag of chips. And I'm talking like those family size bag of chips. No one feels good after that. Even if you were hungry when you started, you might feel good after like 10 of them and you might feel okay, but you know you always feel uncomfortable after you eat an entire bag of chips, or even a really large bag, or really the big bucket of popcorn at the movie theaters. I know you guys feel sick after eating an entire one, especially if it was to yourself. So the goal is to say, just stop doing that. Like really, that's it. Is stop getting yourself to being super stuffed. Stop when you're content. And what that takes to find that contentment, it's appreciating the food when you're hungry. When you're hungry and you eat when you're hungry, you can appreciate that food. And it's just crazy how we go into these tangents of thinking that, or these like moments of going into some sort of extreme diet to lose so much weight in such a short period of time, when you can lose that same amount of weight over the outspring of your life. Like how amazing would it say if you lost 20 pounds? Let's say you see your starting weight right now. Whatever your starting weight is. For me, my starting weight was 213 pounds. And I was pregnant. So I knew I was going to get bigger because I was pregnant. I knew I didn't want to gain 50 pounds. I didn't need to gain 50 pounds because I was already 213 pounds. But I started 213. And when I gave birth, I got down to 212. I want to say maybe a week later after giving birth. It was amazing. It was beautiful. I only gained 20 pounds in pregnancy, so I lost all of it really quickly. And I got to 212. And then I got to 200. And then when I was at 200, I was like, man, I know I will never be 213 pounds again for the rest of my life. And with how fast I was going down in weight and how peaceful it was, I knew that even if I got pregnant again, my top weight wasn't going to even be 200 pounds. And then I got to 195. And then I got to 190. I was like, oh my gosh, I will never be 200 pounds again for the rest of my life. And I got to 185. And then 180, and it was amazing. I was like, wow, I'm never going to be at 190 pounds for the rest of my life. And now I'm at 175. And I'm like, I'll never be 185 pounds again for the rest of my life. Because when I even have my highest day of my weight, it's only 4 pounds higher or 5 pounds higher than my lowest weight. Like, I just know my weight. I know how it works. I know how it functions, which then leads to mindful eating step 4, which is eating or knowing what you weigh. And I think we have this relationship with the scale that's so unhealthy. We think that it tells us more than just a weight, but I gotta tell you, all it does is tell you your weight. That's it. And learning about your weight is powerful because it teaches you how food affects your body. It teaches you how sleep affects your body. It teaches you how stress affects your body, especially when it comes to your weight. You know, if you feel heavy when you're anxious and stressed, it's because you're holding in energy, and yeah, you might be up a pound or two. You know, if you're always feeling uncomfortable after eating Mexican food, and I say Mexican food because Mexican food just does that to most people. It used to do that to me, and I've learned how to combat it, but I'll teach that to you later. And I would always be like 2-3 pounds heavier after eating Mexican food at a restaurant. Why was that? Why? Turns out that it's because of sodium, right? You learn about the power of sodium just in one day and what it can do to your weight. Imagine not going like 2 weeks without weighing yourself. I would be terrified of the scale. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what did I do to myself? That's how I'd feel. But going every single day is like, wow, it's freedom. It's freedom because I am in control of my weight. I'm in control of my choices, and I know how to make myself go up and down. Anyway, I hope this was good food for thought for you guys. And I just feel like I'm talking to myself. But you know what? Go ahead, leave a comment below. If you want to leave a comment below, whenever I'll get a comment below. This is a brand new YouTube channel, so you know it just takes some time for people to start getting this. But this was episode Mindful Eating versus the diet industry. I'll see you later.